Hey, welcome back to Wee Big Kids. I've come out for a little bit of a walk today up to a small disused quarry to tell you a story. You see, this story came to my mind this week and I thought what a great one it would be to share with you all. It is an old Japanese folk tale dated back. We never know how old stories are, but it's said that this one is over 150 years old. And the title of the story is called The Stone Cutter. Now, a long time ago, many years, way before the story was told, of course, there lived a humble stone cutter. And this stone cutter would go out to work every day on the mountain, carrying his stone hammer, and he would chip away at the stone. He would hammer and hammer in the hot sun. It was really hard work. And one day he was taking a rest and he was sat on the rocks and he was looking out across the valley, and he saw a whole procession of people coming along. It was the king. The stone cutter said, how wonderful it would be to be the king. He is so grand. He has everything that he needs. All the food and the servants. He doesn't need to be here on this rock, chipping away. But what the stone cutter didn't know is that on this day, every wish that he made would come true. And in an instant, poof, the stone cutter was transformed into the king. He was going through the valley with his horses and his people, and he stopped in a big opening. And he went out and he was wearing huge robes and a big beautiful crown, and he sat in the opening looking around, marvelling at what a beautiful day it was. And as he sat there, he began to get very hot. He looked up at the sun. He thought, how bright that sun is. How strong that sun is. It is so powerful. It controls the whole of the world. Wouldn't it be great if I could be the sun? And poof, immediately he was transformed into the sun. Up in the sky, beaming bright light down onto the earth, giving energy to all the living beings. How grand and wonderful and great I am, he thought as he looked around. But as he looked around, in the distance, he saw something approaching. It was a big white cloud. The cloud came nearer and nearer until it completely covered the sun. The sun said, I cannot shine my light anymore. I am covered by this huge cloud. I thought I was the greatest of all, but no, this cloud is greater than me. How I wish that I could be a cloud. And in an instant, the sun became the cloud, and the cloud drifted across the sky. He got to see all of the lands and the seas and the mountains and the valleys. It thought, I am the greatest of all. I get to see the whole of the world. Nothing can touch me. But as he said that, he felt something coming on the distance. It was the wind. The wind blew over the hills until it came to the cloud, and it started to whip around the cloud. And as it whipped around, the cloud began to break up. Said the cloud, for I am not the greatest after all. The wind has more power than me. The wind is greater than how I wish that I could be the wind. And in an instant, poof, the cloud became the wind. And the wind travelled far and wide over mountain tops. It ruffled the tops of trees. It blew waves up onto the ocean. For nothing could stand in the way of the wind. The wind thought, I am the greatest of all. Nothing is better than me, for I can fly across the whole of the world. I can whip up oceans and knock down trees, for I am the greatest of all. And then the wind came up against the mountain. And the wind blew and blew and blew, but the mountain would not budge. Said the wind, I have found something far greater than I. It is the mountain. The mountain is greater than I. It stands here so grand it cannot be moved or broken by anything. Said the wind, how I wish that I could be the mountain. And in an instant, poof, he was transformed to the mountain. And the mountain stood there tall and proud. The sun couldn't break him. The wind couldn't topple him. The clouds couldn't cover him. Said the mountain, for I am the greatest at all. At last I have made it. Nothing can be greater than I. And as he sat there, he heard a noise. And the mountain looked down, and there at the base of the mountain was a man carrying a hammer, chipping away at him, breaking him up. Whoa, said the mountain. I thought I was the greatest of all. Nothing could break me, but down there, that man with the hammer, he is far greater than I. He is a stone cutter. Oh, how I wish that I could be a stone cutter just like him. And in an instant, poof, the mountain was transformed into the stone cutter. Now, I love that story. It has a wonderful, wonderful meaning. And I think the best stories that we hear are those that have meanings. But we all take different meanings from different stories. For me, that story is all about being grateful for the things that we have. Sometimes we look beyond ourselves for things that are stronger than us without realising that our greatest strength comes from within. So I hope you enjoyed the story. We'll see you again next time at We Be Kids. Bye.